Hello. Merry Christmas. Nobody heard that. Nobody's watching yet. But yeah, I noticed some other guys weren't on. And might notice the color is a little different in this because this is I got an LG phone now. Doing away with the, where is that POS phone. This is Merry Christmas, Hooli. This is the phone I was using, and you see all the, oh, there's a lot of that. Yeah, you can see the cracks there. See, it was all right over the lens, right over the camera lens there. It's all cracked. And that's the old one. So now we got a new phone. So there's different colors. Yeah, right now. Yeah, it's just the same. It's an LG G7. It's sharper too. Well, at least on this end it is. I don't know if it's streaming better, but now I'm trying to decide if I should fix this phone and sell it or sell it like it is, because it works. It works fine. It's just got cracked. The glass. Merry Christmas, OB. How about a big rock that fell? Well, big rock. There was one last year, big rock fell, and they decided to build the road around it. Instead of getting rid of it, they just built the road around it. Merry Christmas, Captain Marvel. Yeah. I don't have that many, but I just have two little notes here. 300 miles west of Toledo. I was trying to look it up on Google Earth on my computer, but Google Earth not working on my computer anymore because when my computer went into hibernation, it came back and it wiped out something Google Earth needed. So it does. So that's why I got to redo my computer. The computer's I got it in 2013. But in 2013, it was almost a $2,000 computer. I'm gonna turn that around. That's just a part of collection there. That's not mine. It's mine. I own it, but someone gave it to me. More. I guess if someone gave it to you, it's mine, but it's not an earned one. Other than, yeah, who wasn't injured, just at least mentally, from going in the military? Waiting for the thaw. Everything is frozen up. Yeah, it's supposed to be a chance of snow tomorrow. My friends over in Pagosa Springs been getting. They got snow all week, but here it's like, it's the middle of the valley. It's not the normal part of normal Colorado. Merry Christmas, Steve. Grip. Yeah, I got this. It's a Samsung G7 I'm using now. So, yeah, I had that note. What is it? Yeah. Toledo, Spain, 300 miles, more than 300 miles west of Toledo. Well, there's Toledo in Spain. That's the original Toledo. The Toledo over here is named after the one over there. So, no snow here yet in Durango. It's supposed to start tomorrow. Yeah, it's... We're supposed to have some tomorrow, and then Friday we're supposed to have 50% chance, a high of 31 on Friday. Yeah, it's cold here. It's 8 degrees right now, and the forecast was a low of 12. So, yeah. There's a Toledo, there's a Toledo, Oregon, and the original Toledo was Spain. And all them people like Manalone, He's less than 300 miles from Toledo. Hey, imagination. Saw something about it. There was something I was watching about it. Something about imagination. I just watched a thing about the Vikings in the Mediterranean and all their wars with the Christians and the Arabs and stuff. They come down and raid and get a bunch of stuff and go back. I mean, they come down, they lose 75% of their men fighting to plunder, so the ones that live could be rich. Yeah, I'm Viking. I'm descended from Olaf, and one of my ancestors is Christina de Bruce. Robert de Bruce's sister is my ancestor. And those Scots, they were really, Vikings back then. They came from the Vikings, Scotch, Irish. And the thing I watched about the Vikings coming down to raid to the Mediterranean, they brought back some black people, and that's to Ireland, and that's where the black Irish come from. Russian. Cool. I like Russians. Forrest colluded with the Russians. Yeah, I was watching that thing. It's like, man, that much of Europe was Muslim. Wow, that was like almost, Spain and almost up to Paris that was all Muslim at one time, and if not for the Vikings coming down, right, then that kind of helped out, but. Yeah. Was it 51 years ago? Was Forrest Fenn was on his way home. He was home for, Whoopi. He was on his way home from Vietnam from being shot down, and he was home for Christmas Eve, and that was a special time place for him. But the one thing people don't get about they're out there looking for the treasure chest, thinking that the treasure chest is actually there. What you're looking, the trove he speaks of, my trove for all to seek, it's not the treasure chest. And so if you find the trove, which includes the blaze and it's his memories that are out there spread through the forest, across over the mountain, and yeah, I've got like my dad's mother and father were ninth cousins. One was descended from John Hopkins' son. John Hopkins and his family came on the Mayflower. One was descended from his son, and the other was descended from his daughter. So my grandparents were ninth cousins and didn't know it, And doing genealogy, I had to figure it out who. And traveling up into New England and stuff, and I was at a library and I found a book about one of my ancestors' families, and one of the ancestors I knew about was they lost track of him in New York. Well, he shows up in Wisconsin, but he was from New York, and so I was able to trace his family back to Robert Sedgwick and Robert Sedgwick was a general, and he took Port Royal from France, and he was the first English governor of Jamaica, and he allowed the pirates to plunder the French ships and have safe harbor in Port Royal. and he ordered the construction of Kingston, Jamaica. So that's one of my, and he's buried on top of Spanish Hill in Jamaica. It's my ninth or 10th great grandfather. He is. Wait, it's a little ways back. But we're all related. No, you might be a cousin, but very few. Or it's like I don't have a direct any link to George Washington, and that's it. That would be a fifth great. My fifth great grandfathers are of his age, of his time. And two of my fifth great grandfathers, Ethan Allen and James Rogers, made Vermont independent from England and the United States. And and then Ethan Allen's second wife tried to write my Ethan Allen's first wife's children off as dead, and she successfully did. Ran them off to Canada because they were Tories, and wrote them off as dead, and so that her children with Ethan Allen could inherit all of his land. He had 50,000 acres or 90,000 acres, I don't know. But and the land my ancestors had, they left somebody in charge of it, and eventually they quit giving my family the money for that land in Vermont. We had 67,000, it was 67 square miles of Vermont, Windham Township and Londonderry Township, and half of Hubbardton Township, because Robert Rogers had Hubbardton Township, and Robert Rogers was in debtor's prison in England, and James Rogers bought half of Robert Rogers' Hubbardton Township to bail him out of, to pay his debt to get out of debtor's prison. But then he wasn't allowed to come back to America because his wife's father had been banished from the country for not being around. He was out fighting wars. Rogers Rangers. Robert Rogers petitioned the King of England for an expedition up the Missouri River to the Shining Mountains. From there, it's a 20-mile carry to the Oregon River that leads to the Pacific Ocean. And he sent Jonathan Carver out on an expedition. Jonathan Carver took all the goods that were to trade with the Indians to get to the Pacific and back, and it was for trade to finance the trip. And he took it all and traded it for some land in Wisconsin, and never. Some say he went part way up the Missouri River. Some say he didn't go anywhere. But then Lewis and Clark used Robert Rogers' instructions to. They followed his instructions up the Missouri River to the Shining Mountains, which is the Rocky Mountains, and it's 20-mile river from the end of the Missouri River to the end of the Snake, to get in the Snake River, where they can navigate. They had to go over the over the Continental Divide, and there's so there's a portion that they had to carry the boats. Not tarry, but carry the boats over the mountains to the other river. And so at each river is a put in and a takeout. And so if he put in here, the takeout's on the other side of the mountain. And if you want to, he put the treasure in, you got to take the treasure out. It says, he's playing with words and stuff. And it's a carry over the mountains, not a tarry. Snake River, well, originally in In 1765, Jonathan Carver map, the Snake River is the Oregon River, Ourigan. And so Robert Rogers is the first person to ever use the name Oregon, which became the state of Oregon. And so the Oregon River was actually the Snake River and the part of the Columbia River. Before there wasn't, it was the Oregon River, not and later was turned into the Columbia River. Omega Bridge over Omega Bridge. yeah. There's but like he said, those are just, it's just a colophon. It could be, it might not be, but I got elephants are omegas, and I saw something that was an omega something up here too. It was might have been a shop or something. I don't know, but I've got it narrowed down. Because if you I found my area by searching for the beginning of his rainbow. If it leads to the end of his rainbow, then you better start at the beginning of the rainbow. And so the end of the rainbow has a name that is rainbow related also. Used to live in Los Alamos. Yeah, and really that part of New Mexico is, he said that the Rio Grande River, he was referring to New Mexico, is not in the Rocky Mountains. Toby was covering that. It's not the Rocky. He was referring, because New Mexico troopers or New Mexico State Police were trying to get him called the Chasesaw, and so he's saying, it's not in the Rio Grande, and the Rio Grande's not in the Rocky. Well, up here the Rio Grande goes into the Rocky Mountains, and actually it has forks, and those forks aren't the Rio Grande, they're a fork. So he said, oh, that's not the same thing. It had John Dawson put his vlogs back on. Oh, good. And it's S-A-U-N, Sean, S-H-A-U-N. Yeah. No W. You. I had a father and a grandfather, so I had a rifle from grand. Yeah, I have a story by my great grandmother, great grandfather, or my great grandmother wrote it, I guess, about my great or her brother, I guess it was Timothy Rogers, and he had been out hunting. He got attacked by a deer, and he came home about naked from a deer attack, and he had his Civil War rifle. It's like, boy, I wish I had one of them Civil War rifles from my great grandfather. He fought. He was in the Wisconsin 8th Infantry and fought with the Screaming Eagle. And my great grandpa Christopher Darius Gorman, he played the fife. He went in. He joined the Grand Army of the Republic, and when he was 15, and boys that went in the Civil War were used as drummers or fife, and he played the fife. So, but the fife was like he'd give the signals, played the signals on the fife that told the troops what to do, because they could hear that thing over some of the racket that was going on. Most of them probably had their ears ringing most of the time anyhow. Yeah, I have four ancestors all fought for the Union. Um, and so my great great grandfather, there's a picture of him with the Screaming Eagle at Vicksburg, and he's this. There's two guys on one side of the eagle and five or six on the other side, but he's the guy on the left side closest to the eagle. Um, he's standing behind him, and I figured the reason he was in there was the eagle liked to hear Yankee Doodle, and that would keep him calmed down, you know. Um, but the eagle had broke loose and off his tether was flying over the battle screaming, and that's where the Screaming Eagle came from. Jefferson Davis, yeah. Your family was shooting at my family. My great great grandfather, he got shot through the left arm. It went through his left arm, entered his left shoulder, and it exited at his right shoulder blade with a 58 caliber mini ball. Went through him going across, and I didn't take out a major artery, didn't get his windpipe, didn't get his spine. You know, it went right through him and out, all the way across and out the other. It's a miracle that he didn't. Is because he wasn't. He was laying there for 3 days before General found him, and the General says, "If you give me your hand, soldier, I'll help you up." And my great great grandfather says, "Go to hell! I'll get myself up." You know. But he had just turned 18 when that happened. It was like right near his 18th birthday, and he got shot. He spent a year in a Memphis hospital, and then the war was over, and but I think he was in the hospital till after the war was, and eventually went home, and then he married Mary Allen Rogers, who was great great granddaughter of Colonel James Rogers from Rogers Rangers, brother of Robert Rogers. So Robert Rogers is my fifth great granduncle. Yeah, he's my great great grandfather, Christopher Darius Gorman. People pronounce that name. I mean, we got it from my great grandfather. Pronounce his father's middle name Darius, and he had joined using his middle name to try and conceal who he was or something. But yeah, so some of the records have his middle name, some have his first name. But yeah, he was the postmaster. He ran the general store in Wisconsin, near Spring Valley, and he ran the general store. He was the postmaster and the justice of the peace. he actually married my great grandfather and great grandmother. Well, it seems everybody, all the combatants have. I don't know. They bailed ship. I didn't see them. I didn't see anybody else doing a stream this evening. So I decided, well, I'm going to go on a little earlier. And shipped off a picture, one of my art things to. It's getting hot in here. I'm gonna have to turn this heater over here off because I got it's 75 sitting where I'm sitting right now. It's 80 degrees up here where my hand is. Because I got my weather station thing right at desk level. I have another thermometer that's up on a shelf thing there. What does everyone think about Forrest's new book, Educating Artie? Well, that was a book only for his family or something, right? It's not a published book. Yeah, it's a kid's book. If kids, yeah, yeah. I, I, he's trying to go on to something different. He's trying to set the treasure hunt aside and do something different. You know, he only does things for 15 years. You know, yeah. I think it's a kid's book. Um, I'm going to. I'm working on a book about, but it's about the stuff I found and stuff. I guess you know, I could do a book. Somebody wants to help me write it, you know. I could do a book on my solution, you know, and how I got there and all that. Um, I guess Cynthia. What about Bill? What's it about Bill? His Forrest Fenn's book. I don't know. It's a kid's book. I think he's trying to get off the treasure hunt. He did his. He's rode off into the sunset. He's calling an end. The end is near. You know, it's about time for him to ride off into the sunset. I had posted on my Forrest Fenn fanatics about the a video, Alan Parsons, as lights fall, and it's a pirate thing. You know, there's a treasure in the video and stuff. No, it's here. Yeah, my book's about Atlantis here in the Rocky Mountains, and all the stuff I found. It's how it ties to Plato. Plato describes the elephants of Atlantis, and the plains are 10,000 strata, which each strata is 600 feet, which equals 1,200 miles. So the plains of Atlantis are 1,200 miles. That's not an island. Yeah, it seems a lot of some of people are drifting off into other things and all. They've given up. I don't. Furniture doctor. Hmm. So he he fixes broken wood. um, Marvel, you should. She writes beautiful. Yeah, yeah. I've got two books. People never know. I've got two books on Amazon, published in 2007 and 2009. You know, I just got a royalty check 6 months ago for like $250. Ever read The Secret? This is a book about 12 women life from the 80s and stuff. Yeah. One is the works of Reverend David McGregor. I found he's my sixth great grandfather. James Rogers' wife was Margaret McGregor, and David McGregor was her father, who was his father was the first Presbyterian minister in America, and so he had 7 sermons that were in pamphlets in the Historical Society, and they let me photograph. I photographed every page of it, of the 7 pamphlets of sermons, and I put them all into one book so that people could read his sermons without going to the Historical Society. ES got sick. Oh my! Well, you've been drinking, ES? build the okay. Stepped away for a bit. The wife made homemade green salsa. Yeah, boys delivered 4 houses. So now everybody's got diarrhea or something, Jack. Tis the season. Yeah, I made that little Thoth thing with Thoth reading the poem. That came out pretty good. That Thoth face. If you can find that face, it's right below the blaze. I say it once. I'm not sure why. I found Steve Rogers. I don't know if there's a relation, but more. Yeah, yeah. My Rogers family, they're mostly in Canada, and well, some of his sisters and all didn't have to run off to England because they didn't. So there's some, but the the guys all went up there. Oh, there's some Rogers. One of his brothers was Robert and James Rogers and John Rogers. They were three brothers, right? John Rogers was the youngest of the brothers, and they all went down to Charleston to train the Cherokees how to fight with the English, I guess against the colonists or whatever, Revolutionary War stuff or whatever. But anyhow, John Rogers, he stayed there with the Cherokees, and his family became Cherokee chiefs. and so those are my relatives too. It's pretty neat. And the other book I did was I republished Robert Rogers' Concise Account of North America, except I edited it all into modern script or modern text instead of old English script. So the S's and the S's don't look like F's. And I tried to the language a little bit, some words meant like in the like. They had NC and C. It meant like and similar, included. Can you imagine how quiet the West was in the 1800s? Folks couldn't imagine it. Yeah, no generators running. You just have the crackling of the fire and the coyotes. Hey, George. Where's George going? George who? I didn't see a George. Rock Yard neighborhood. No, that Mr. Rogers, he ain't related. Even Rogers Communications up in Canada and the Rogers Arena, I guess that's he's not part of my Rogers family. His family came over later. The Rogers, my family are, and the Allen. Because Ethan Allen and his family, they came from on the Mayflower and stuff. Some of them. Merry Christmas, Shanktopotamus. I don't live in the city. I'm pretty quiet here. Yeah, I got my own little this quiet piece of land here. There ain't nobody for half a mile, and they're quiet. I can run they don't even hear me. They're far enough away. Or if they do hear me, it's just a pitter patter. I heard something booming. Maybe that's just my generator popping. But they've been having earthquakes. today. They had like 4 of them that were 5.0 or and 2 of them that were 6.0s off Victoria Island, north end of Victoria Island off Canada. And the big one is coming. People say, "Oh, move to Oregon, you get better health care." It's like, after the big one, maybe. I don't want to be there when that thing hits, because you don't know what's going to happen. You know, the whole mountainside's. A friend of mine, he said, "Go up this road now," and he said, "There's big, huge landslide." And I went and looked. It was in Oregon. And this landslide was like a half a mile across and a mile long, you know, just the whole freaking hill washed down. The thrill of the shake. The thrill of the chase is finding that ancient artifact, or even better, finding Atlantis is the best thrill of the chase. And it's see, there's lots of stories told on the rocks, and there's so many stories that all his stories were already there on the rocks. Los Banos, yeah, the Los Banos, isn't that near? It's south of Salinas. We were going from the Bay Area down to LA on a vacation when my dad first bought this 65 Ford pickup camper, and we were on our first trip down to LA with it, and the head gasket gone. And I think the guy knew it when he sold it to us. He knew he did something to fix it temporarily, and so we ended up with the truck getting the engine overhauled when we got down to LA. East of Gilroy over Pacheco Pass. Yep. Oh, yeah, that Los Banos. Yep. Yeah, that's why I used to go from San Jose. I go down there and go through and pass that big reservoir or whatever that's always 3/4 empty, and then out to Highway 5 or 36. Is it 36? I can't remember, so long ago. Yeah, San Luis Reservoir. It should be easy to remember because I live near San Luis here. Yeah. And I remember they had problems. One of the problems they had with that is when the lake is low, all the mice and all live on the shore, on the banks of the reservoir. And then when they fill the reservoir up, it floods out all these mouse houses and puts hantavirus into the water. So keeping the reservoir empty, it can be very bad for your health. Yeah. Like the Pied Piper. Yeah. Sounds like a good time. Merry Christmas, Gene. I have a lot to talk about. What was the other thing? Yeah, Christmas. Yeah, Toledo, Spain. But you know what Toledo, Spain is near? It's near where they filmed For Whom the Bell Tolls. They filmed for Whom the Bell Tolls, or was it A Farewell to Arms? One of those movies, or both of them. They filmed in the mountains there. yeah. Toledo's in Spain. Let's talk about Christmas songs. People say "Holy Toledo." Yeah, that's kind of what when you find Atlantis, you go "Holy Toledo." Oh, Spain. The band that does that music for my intro, they're from Barcelona, Spain. Over 300 miles west of Toledo, yeah. The Atlantic Ocean. um, it, Maybe he was talking about Toledo, Oregon. Yeah, Marvel. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, my family, we used to, when I was a kid, we grew up and every Christmas Eve, uh, my dad had two brothers that lived in the Bay Area, across the Bay, and Christmas Eve they'd all, they'd come over with all my cousins from my dad's side of the family, were there just about every Christmas, and we had a great time and stuff. Whatever, they take turns passing out presents on Christmas Eve, and after everybody grew up and moved out of mom and dad's house, and those cousins all went away, and really they won't even return a call anymore. It's really shitty how people dump their families like that, their cousins and stuff, over petty things from way in the past or something. I don't know what their hang up is. Too hot. Turn the heater off. It should be quieter now. No hissing. I took a train to Major Spain, not knowing what I was getting into. Oh, that'd be a blast. Blow the bridge. That wasn't the train bridge, though. That's the movie A Farewell to Arms. Blow the bridge. Good night, imagination. Oh, yeah, I ain't got a lot to talk about for the treasure, but like I said, it's his trove of memories on the canyon walls. So it's like people are out there looking for the bronze box. The bronze box is what you get for finding his trove in hidden in nature. His trove of memories on the canyon wall. It's a great adventure. Next, what are you doing for Christmas Eve? I don't know. Christmas. I'm probably sitting here. They ain't got no. My son's, I think, working, and because government job that doesn't get you don't get to pick your days off. Probably soon. Well, hoping to find it soon is saying, because in the solution I read is it you don't get the treasure. He holds on to the treasure. He's got one hand, and the other hand, it's like this. I'm giving it to you, but I'm holding on to it until I die. Because that's why the things he covets and stuff. The story about the Olga, tea with Olga, but it wasn't just tea with Olga. It was tea with Olga and lawyers, and discussing transferring property to a non-family member in a will. So legal tea, legality. So hoping I find it soon is saying you're hoping he passes soon, and we nobody hopes for that. So I gotta wait. That's what worth the cold is, the cold shoulder that you can't have, but you can't have it until I pass away. Viola, oh, you see a lot of those in the rocks, huh? Some things are so freaking funny. You painted it while back to Mexico. Yeah, I went and had that was a week ago. I already talked about that Mexican restaurant I go to, and the guy's father had passed away, and they're going to take him down to Mexico to bury him. And boy, I bet that takes a lot of permits. It ain't easy to take a body across the border. Life is but a dream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Yeah, there's a lot in the Jiminy Cricket, Wish Upon a Star. I got the one picture somebody was mentioning the 66,000 links. Somebody posted something about that, and I posted my picture of me with the Oscar Mayer wiener thing with the hole for your face. I told him, be careful. I said, it's a missing link. Be careful what you wish for. And I found out these you see these on eBay, little micro 1 terabyte SD cards, they don't work. I put it in my computer, I formatted it, and it I spent like 10 hours copying 700 gigabytes of pictures over to it. All my pictures from 2016 to current 19, and that my idea was I put all my pictures on there, and I don't have to start up my backup drive. I can just access them on the SD card, and because I have my generator running to access my backup drives. Oh yeah, I used to live in Orlando. I live 5 miles from Disney World. and yeah, 1999, I partied like it was 1999. Me and my friends, I had a bunch of Canadian friends, and we go down. They had Pleasure Island at Disney World, and what it was, a bunch of nightclubs. And so me and my Canadian friends, I live like 5 miles from there. So you can take a cab down there for $7, and you can drink all night, take a cab home for $7. Because we had annual pass, so we didn't have to pay admission, or we didn't have to pay the cover charge for the place each time we went. And when somebody dies there at Disney, it's like Pleasure Island, right? Somebody had died that evening, and they waited after last call and after everybody left before they brought the body out on a stretcher. But yeah, Pleasure Island's pretty much. I used to go there and get the bartender to light the bar on fire. I'd give him a $5 tip, and he'd get some 151 in his mouth and get a bottle with a flame going on a little thing, tissue he had in the top, and he blow fire on the wall, light the whole wall of the bar on fire and stuff. And I hadn't been there for a while. I'd moved to Colorado to take to work for Time Warner as a outside plant manager, and I went back to Florida, and I went to the bar, and I told him, you light the bar on fire, show everybody how you do that. And he said, oh, we're not allowed to do that anymore. And I said, oh man, I used to give you guys a $5 tip and you'd do it. And he came back to me like 5 minutes later, and he says, they told me it's okay, we can do it for you. And lit the bar on fire again. But I was there on the 3rd of July, and at midnight, so the 4th of July, they let fireworks off there at Disney World. So anyhow, they had I had the fireworks at Disney World on the 4th of July at it's at midnight, 12:01 a.m. It's 4th of July. And the next day I was on a plane to Colorado. I had fireworks in Colorado on the same 4th of July. So I had fireworks there in Colorado. We went up, I took, had some friends were who were relatives. One relatives, it was my girlfriend's relatives were around, I think. And we went to watch the fireworks. And that didn't turn out good either. She brought her family come to visit, and she had like ended the relationship basically and still living in my house, and had her family there and expected me to give them a tour of Colorado in my I had an Escalade then, and expect me to give them a ride or tour them, and I was like, oh man, you ended the relationship. Why do I have to haul your family around? They got to rent a car. You go riding with them. Yeah, that relationship eventually ended. I paid for her moving truck and everything. I said, here's $2,700. That's what it's going to take you to get a rent a truck and fuel, and so you can go back to Florida with your family, And she still stayed for like 3 more months. Used up my, had my master bedroom and nothing was happening in there. So yeah, it didn't work out. I should have bought the house I wanted to buy, $100,000 house up in the mountains. She wanted this $250,000 house. If I had the $100,000 house, it'd have been paid for by now. You got a new TV from a divorce? Yeah. Yeah, I got a new LG phone, so you see the colors look different. I noticed when I turn it on, it's maybe sharper and stuff. I watched the UAB Blazers playing the ball. Oh, they got Blazers there too, like Portland. Yeah, I was when I was going to University of Oregon, they played Notre Dame in the championship game. That was, and they blew it. They totally blew it. They beat everybody else except Notre Dame. There you go, Joe. Joe's not watching probably. He'll see it later. Yeah, the Blazers even have dragons on the helmets. Yeah, I have I have a little Blazers bong. Says Blazers on it. Mad Beach. I don't know where Mad Beach is. I lived in Orlando near Disney World, and I lived in Altamont Springs for a little bit. I was in Altamont Springs when that second space shuttle, because when the space shuttle comes over, you get sonic booms and stuff. And we were waiting for the space shuttle to come in and land. We were waiting to hear the sonic booms, and there was no sonic booms, and we knew something was wrong. We just knew something was wrong. And so with no sonic boom, turn on TV, and sure enough, that thing didn't make it back down to the earth in one piece. Because I've been, in Orlando, you should have heard it, because I've heard the sonic booms when you're near Cape Canaveral. I remember waiting for it. I was going along, and I heard boom, boom. While I was driving, you could hear the booms, and saw the shuttle fly over. That was cool. Yeah, I was at the John Glenn Space Shuttle launch, and I got pictures of there was something else up there, and it was on third phase of moon even. I was on third phase of moon. Did we yeah, we landed on the moon. Yeah, it is making really tight. Two pairs of channel locks. one pair of channel locks going up, one the other way. Yeah, I was there at the John Glenn launch, and that's where I got a picture of me with Al Roker. Al Roker was there, and so I got a picture of me and Al Roker next to a Corvette. We were watching elementary school when it happened. Pipe wrench, channel locks. Pipe wrench should probably take all the chrome off it too. And then the other option is a hacksaw and a new thread cutter to cut new threads on the pipe. And also that pipe you could turn the whole thing and take that whole thing out of the wall and put a new one in with a shower head on it. Just put the sealer on the Teflon tape and should seal up, put a new one on, just replace the whole thing. Cut the roots. A rocker popped his pants in the White House. Al Roker pooped. Al Roker pooped his pants in the White House. I was surprised how short he was. He only come up to about top of my shoulder. He's a short little bowling ball. They're not going to impeach Trump. He's going to send them all to jail for running the scam they've been doing. It's James Casey. Yeah, if your name's James Casey, you're probably a cousin. One of my ancestors is Captain Benjamin Casey, and he's Mark Twain's great grandfather, I think. It would be because Mark Twain's a third cousin, so I don't know. The second cousin, first cousins have the same grandfather. Yeah. So Benjamin Casey was Mark Twain's great grandfather, and he's one of my ancestors also. That makes Mark Twain or Samuel Clemens my third cousin. Yeah, Samuel Clemens is my third cousin. So I got a lot of that. Yeah, I got the explorer revolutionary blood, and I got the Mark Twain blood. When I was at the Mark Twain house, I told him, yeah, he's my third cousin. I told him a sense of humor runs in the family, and so do some other things that we don't talk about. I already told you, no, he's not going to get impeached. He shouldn't get impeached. But he should hang all those people that are coming after him. That's what he should do. All them treasonous traitors. Every one of them's getting money kickbacks from their foreign deals with China and Ukraine and everything. They're you got the most treasonous, corrupt people ever in politics on that communist party. They're not Democrats, they're outright communists. Yep, go get a grip. Okay, Merry Christmas. You're back, Jacob. Didn't know you went anywhere. Pelosi has her son's involved. He's getting money transferred through from Ukraine. So, and her nephew is the governor of California, and got there by corrupt means. They told the one Democrat guy that we're not gonna let you run if you don't vote with us. Threatening him. Quid pro quo. Either you vote with us or you're out of the party. Well, he said, fine, I'll go join the other side. He ain't going down with because it's conspiracy when they say you got to vote with us or we're going to screw you over. That's called extortion. Country's gone, yeah. And then in Virginia, they're trying to confiscate the government's. Oh, we're going to take all your guns, and we're going to have the police take your guns. And all the police said, no, we're not taking guns from anybody. And we're going to have the National Guard take your guns. National Guard, no, we're not taking guns from anybody. And so they're like powerless. And it's just a small percentage that wanted them taken away. Yeah, people aren't going to stand for the communist BS. The bringing over people that want to cut your head off. Come on, wake up. You got to be a dumbass if you want somebody to come over here that only wants to cut your head off. No. The Democrats screw the veterans. They're the worst thing for veteran health care ever. They bring over Muslim doctors that want to cut your head off. I got a sinus infection going. It's been going for months. I've been blowing blood out of my nose for the last 3 months, waiting to see an ENT because of Democrats not giving the money and getting things done for they got all these all these hurdles you got to jump over because I'm in community care. The VA doesn't. They don't like patients that have health issues. They like patients that are have no issues. If you have cancer and spina bifida and pernicious anemia and all the shit I got, those doctors don't want it because you're too much work for them. If you're not too much work for them, then your doctor's just perfect for you. But if you got some things that need attention, those doctors are crappy as hell. A month ago, my doctor told me, "Oh, we're sending you over to see this ENT." And the VA, "No, we haven't received anything. Nobody's requested it yet." And it just pisses me off. I took Tylenol earlier. I got a headache going. Yeah, TriWest was see the doctors. Oh, we'll send a request to TriWest for your ENT, right? And I tried calling TriWest, and the VA answers now, and TriWest isn't doing it. So they changed the program, and the doctors don't know where the hell to ask for permission from. Yeah, something's got to be done about China. I seen something. They sell little gift things, a little packet, keychains with live turtles inside a plastic thing where you can't put any food in there for them or nothing. How cruel. How do they allow shit like that? Yeah, my grandkids are Japanese, but no, the Chinese government allows some really bad thing. And what's happening in Hong Kong right now? You ain't even heard anything out of Hong Kong. What, they cut off the communication out of there? You ain't heard nothing about that lately here. Yeah. This new phone, the camera's right there, and it's in the middle. The other one, it was up on the top of the left side. This one, it's right in the center on the left side. It's a LG G7, and the screen is bigger. The screen goes all the way across. This one was, I got another 1/2 inch of screen. Even the list, when you're scrolling, the list is at 1/2 inch longer. That's pig farm outfit that is starting. And they got all these. I noticed that pig Ebola. Okay, and so they're having to kill all the pig, but they're not just they're probably feeding them to somebody or feeding them to the pets and spreading the Ebola or whatever. The shungite water that I'm making now is supposed to, you drink that and it's supposed to dissolve kidney stones, cure Ebola and all kinds of other viruses and bacterias and stuff. It's amazing water. I'm feeling cool. It gets cool in here fast when you turn the heater off. That heater off. But I got another I got an electric one underneath my table here that it's and I got it so the heat it's blocked. The other side of the table's blocked, so all the heat comes right up in my lap, so it stays warmer right where I'm sitting. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to take that back. That was that's BS. China has no business running that. Yeah, just the operation of the canal, not the government of Panama, though. Benny Hinn. You used to drive past his Benny Hinn thing in Orlando. Or was it Altamont Springs or Maitland or something? There was a Benny Hinn thing in Florida. You used to drive by to get to work. Panama was in control. Yeah, Trump is doing to China is just a drop. Yeah. Oh, he's making them pay tariffs. The tables were turned against us for the last 30 years, 30, 40 years since the late 70s, or really since the 60s, since they killed Kennedy, since the Federal Reserve bankers had Kennedy killed, because Kennedy was going to do what Trump is doing. Kennedy was yeah, they are organized crime, totally. Uh, Government is mafia. You got your world mafia, the federal mafia, the state mafia, the county mafia, the city mafia, and the homeowners association mafia. Oh, they're the middle finger over here. You pay us or we're taking your land from you. You pay us or you can't have water from the ground. You pay us, or you can't have a home on your land. It's like, excuse me, that's a God given right. That's a God given right to have a home on your own land. People want to, they're all control freaks. You be a politician, you got to be a control freak. You got to be a control freak, or you got to be a freedom person for freedom and liberty and down with government. you know. Um, yeah, that's gonna be it's not K Pro, it's K Profit. Put FIT on the end of that. K Profit. We went to war over tax on T. Where are we now? Yeah, exactly. You got federal tax, state tax, county tax, city tax, and homeowner association fees. All these mafia, give us money, give us money, give us. We're a bunch of bloodsuckers. The UN is in control. Oh yeah, but Trump turned down the. He said no, we're not part of your gun ban. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something else I got to look at on the treasure hunt that I learned watching the thing about the Holy Grail and the the Templar treasures and Oak Island and stuff, and the as above, so below, and this is as above. Does this have? Because Oak Island related to stars, you know. Let me set this up for right now. This is December 23rd. Where's 23? 20, 25, 23. And it's 9:41 p.m. 9:41 p.m. So that'd be tonight's stars, you know. And what imagination did they have to? So you see it, maybe see this plastic on here all rippled up on it, because this thing's 20 years old. So I don't know the plastic, but I want to find out what star correlates with my search area. You want to see if there's any stars that line up with your search area, like the coordinate on Earth coordinate, and find that coordinate in the stars, and what star is your search area near. You might want to look at the coordinate of that star and find it in your search area. That's why the guy's sitting there looking up at the stars. but then it might only put you within a half mile, you know. You're screwed if star charts are involved. No, I'm not. But I've got to redo my computer so I can get Google Earth on there and find out where the hell I'm looking. I could probably use the Google Earth on my phone to find it. Speak in tongues. Says a psychic told me that I was a Native American in past lives, that I had many Native American lives, and always had a bear name. I was always something bear. Yeah, I went to in Tom Petty song, Onondaga or Talladega, Florida, and they got, it's supposed to be a bunch of psychics there, and I went to one of them, and she, oh, there's a short woman that, I don't know who she be. Ancestor, grandmother, great somewhere. K Pro 8 past life. She was a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I used to have dreams I was being chased by a pterodactyl. I'd have dreams, those were my nightmares, being chased by a pterodactyl, or grabbed by a pterodactyl, or falling down a log-lined square bottomless pit. Bear no witness. Yeah. Yeah. My Indian name is Chief Breaking Wind. Yeah. Big Chief Breaking Wind. is there. Yeah, yeah, that's one thing. Noah's Ark, right? The whole world flooded, right? So how do they know they landed in the back in the same place that they came from? They don't. They have no idea. Chief Poo Poo Pants. Yeah. Big Chief Breaking Wind. What? Okay, what was Forrest? What's Forrest's native name? I won't say. Well, I'll let you guys come up with that. Little big man, Skinwalker, Skinwalker. He who grins a lot. uh, that's all the names you come up for Forrest, huh? Little stinking tail. That's Jack. Is Jack's little stinking tail. How you doing, Sonia? I heard from you for a little bit here. He who ropes buffalo. Yeah. Tricky artifact picker. He's yeah. Collects to kachinas. He's a kachina keeper. Yeah. They're saying hi to you, Jack Jack. Tricky artifact point. Yeah, I've just been you know, these people see a few of the art things I've made, but I mean, real I've made like 10,000 of them. So you know, is you're not seeing much of what I've made, and you know, if I had the money to do so, I'd have a lot of stuff in the gallery, but it takes more than what I got. You can't get there instantly. 10 squirrels. Yeah. Oh. A nut and a nut. Yeah. Nut store. I am 10 bears. 10 bears, huh? What kind of bear? Panda bears or koala bears? As the day keeps the doctor away. Banana a day, huh? Okay. I take the potassium once a day. 10 bears. Okay. I'll Google it. Jack Jack. Where'd he go? Chief Indian Giver. No fishing with bananas. No, I haven't tried fishing with bananas. It might work. You know, maybe fishing with an apple might work too. Yeah, about the guy who claims he. Yeah. And Forrest said no, he didn't find it. No. See, because nobody. He. That's the reason he's saying nobody found. He didn't find it. Well, one, he knows where the guy's looking, and it ain't in that area. If it was out there, his trove isn't in that area. His trove is over here, and and that's what you're looking for. The treasure ain't anywhere out there. So anytime, no, they didn't find it. No way. Nobody's gonna find it. The way you find it is that gives you instructions in his will. If you've been wise and found the blaze, he'll give you the title in his will, and then you can collect the treasure. But that ain't happening until after he passes away. So nobody's gonna find it. Nobody's gonna stumble upon it. That every searcher out there is stumbling. You know, cuddle bear, huh? I had a stuffed polar bear for a long time, and it was I got it up in Alaska. It was a kind of a collector thing. Bring back a stuffed polar bear from Alaska, right? Yeah. And something happened to it. Basically, yeah. What can you say? Children break things. Your dog would break things of yours. I think one reason Forrest doesn't have a big dog. Man, if that dog chomp on a $10,000 kachina, he's got a dog that he can pretty much trust around his kachinas. The dog might, yeah, if he had a big dog, it'd think them things were toys or something. And there was almost a 4.0 earthquake between here and where Michael Patterson lives. Between here and it was in the mountains between San Luis and New Mexico, down there in those mountains in the Sangre de Cristos, southeast of San Luis. They had a 4.0 earthquake today, while they're having these big ones up off of Canada, because all that whole thing is that whole plate underneath. It's like the Pacific is up underneath the Pacific plate. Created the Rocky Mountain, pushing against the North American plate is what made the Rocky Mountains and the Sierra Nevadas and stuff. And what happened? It made the Rockies and now it's kind of caught here in the Rockies. It becomes solid, and then it pushes up the Sierra Nevada, and that San Andreas Fault might go up along the coast, but it also goes right up the Sierra Nevadas where that's pushing up into the air. And I wouldn't be surprised if after the big one, Mount Whitney grows 10 feet. This is good for headaches. They had these at Walmart for something. It's like less than $5. Though. Yeah, it feels good on your skull. I like it on my head bone. Head bone connected to the neck bone. And if they would get me to the sinus doctor, it's crazy. It's like it's like since May I'd been complaining about the sinuses, and about 3 months ago they started. It's just like clear snot's normal, yellow snot's an infection. Mine's pink. So, and chunks of, it's bad. My Shungaya mushroom. Sungay. I'm sure spelled wrong. I get Shungite. Shungite is a stone. It's an ancient meteorite. It's only found in Russia, and you make shungite water. Yeah, that's how you spell it, shungite. And I'm drinking shungite water, and it said it dissolves kidney stones and all kinds of stuff. Bring in pole shift brand. Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that. So it's my sinuses, pretty much. Your sinuses go down to the the base of your skull and top of your neck. You get pains right. It's sinus. The sinuses go from there up through your ears and up behind the cheekbones, around your eyes and stuff. So it gives you a visual, messes with your muscles for your eyes and stuff. Red right there. What's going on there? And I just need to put some of my stuff. I got stuff for my autoimmune, makes my face red blotchy, and I got cream I put on my face, but I didn't put any on today. I don't always. I shaved. Hey, now I went to my mailbox because my phone was supposed to be there last Thursday, and it didn't show up in Denver till Thursday night, and then it left there. It said it left there Thursday night. I thought I'd get it Friday, so I drove up there. You get it Friday, nothing there. Drove up Saturday, nothing there, and the tracking, it didn't show up till 7:00 this morning at my post office, and then the other stuff. Another one I showed up at the post office in Alamosa rather than Del Norte. And so, yeah, I got other stuff because I got the phone. I got some cords for the phone because I keep the cord, one cord at my desk, one cord in the car, and one by the bed. I ordered a 3 meter long phone cord for the bed because I got a magnet, one on the left side of the bed, one on the right side of the bed, and one straight up on the thing right over the bed because I can reach up. I can lay on my back and look straight up at my phone, watch video or movie or stuff. Usually I fall asleep doing that. Oh man, a bunch of messages. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. How far back did it scroll? Oh, guy that was taking weight loss products from China. God. Yeah, no. The shungite's supposed to take away, cure fatty liver and everything else. I mean, it's a miracle stuff. The shungite water, because it's like a diamond that's formed in outer space, not under high pressure, but formed under no pressure in a vacuum of space. And so it makes perfect, the molecules are like perfect soccer balls. There, my generator just ran out of gas. So the shungite makes these perfect molecules, and what it does when you put it does that to the water too. The water turns into more perfect molecules and stuff. And yeah, shungite, look it up. People ask about stuff, just Google it. Google it. YouTube it. But when you look up the shungite, don't go to there's metaphysical people. Oh, crystals, these crystals and that crystals, and crystal freak, whatever. These healing fairies and stuff. But you want to look up the shungite about the guys that won the Nobel Prize for for their research on shungite and what they've done with it. That's what's important. Not the magical, you know, actual. I could have used a crystal elixir the other day. That's what she said. Yeah, but my first glass I had of it, I got it in the bottom of a water pitcher. It's the filter, and the water goes in, and I put it in the top of the water filter first, until to kind of rinse it off, and then I took them out and put them in the bottom of the water, so the water's the shungite rocks are in the water, and though it when you drink it, it's like there's no sugar in it, but it tastes sweet. I was surprised, some guy. I watched a video and the guy was talking about how sweet the water is that's treated with shungite. You owe Steve Carroll $1. What she said. Oh, Steve Carroll. Okay. For real. It's also amazing. Cut your skin before your eyes. Yeah, shungite is like less than 2% silica, and the rest is carbon. And you put carbon in your water filters. Well, this is super carbon, Merry Christmas, Homer. Yeah, we used to have a lot of really good Christmases when I was a kid. And Chris, once I was like an adult, and we'd go to Christmas, and my grandmother come up, and I'd give my grandmother a joint for Christmas, and she, oh, thank you, she made it to 94. Who got the model for Nobel for shungite? You have to look it up. It's published. I don't. That's not on my top 10 names to remember list. What's the definition of good? I.E. AGK. I came up with something else that meant AGK came up for. Think of all the things that AGK can mean besides a gypsy's kiss. A gnome's nuts. Yeah. Is that why she got run over by a reindeer? My grandmother, we'd have our Christmas Eve, and most every time she got lost trying to find our place. Because they're all asking. He said the one I posted, kissing booth, and there's a donkey there. He's, $1 kiss my ass. Yeah, I know. Reindeer. I don't know if reindeer can get over that. Maybe a hippopotamus. I always wondered what AGK meant when people mentioned it in the blog. Yeah. So where's my 10 o'clock crowd? Anybody showing up? All over those studios, man. Cape Pro College. Yeah. What do you want, Jack? Well, what do you want out? Come over here. Come over here and say hi to everybody, Jack. Come on. Come here. I have a treat here to lure you over here. You gonna come over here and say hi? He just drank a bunch of water. He wants to go out and water the garden. Oh, let's go, Jack. Jack. See, I ain't got no cracks on the screen, but I'd see some light glare. Mm. Yeah, I gotta start my heater back up. It's still 70 in here at my desk. It's 63 up at the higher latitude in here, elevation. Oh, where do I put this here? This new phone has a different connector than my old one, so has different cords. But I'm at hour and 40 minutes. I think your RV is cool. No, it's a mess in here. I need to. What was that TV show where they come and take everything out and reorganize everything? It needs one of those. Keep rocking. Yeah. I didn't go to a concert this year. Last year I went to see Alan Parsons. Yeah, that was last year. And usually I like to go to one concert a year. Thanks. It's the phone. It's the LG phone. The cancer ain't gone away. The sinus thing hadn't gone away. And yeah, if they don't, I gotta go to the thyroid doctor too. I got nodules, and they gotta do a They're gonna do a radiation scan. That'll probably be in early March, and I got to go in for a ultrasound in late January. So it's like I can't really head south and get out of here for the winter to warmer places. So I just heat this place. It costs me less to heat it than to buy the gas to travel anyhow. Courthouse, street. Coolest bikes I ever seen. Yeah, I've got a table saw inside my RV, and I'm waiting for a day that's 45, 50 degrees, so it's warm enough I can go out and I can cut my boards for my frames, and and then I'll put the table saw in my storage trailer, and I don't have to bring it, or I could probably drag the generator over there, use it inside the trailer, but I can't leave it sitting outside. I ain't got a garage or nothing for it. And if my kid didn't park all his vehicles inside his garage, I'd say, hey, I'll bring it over and you can keep it in your garage. And when I need to cut wood, I'll come over and use it. And you can, you got a table saw to use. Wills? Who? About Willis. They're partially crazy. 8.25 miles. Yeah, I know what the 8.25 miles is. That's how far the Blaze is from SF. Sounds about right. Yeah. Well, I gotta, they had little miniature table saw things, but you couldn't adjust the blade height on them. I needed one so I could adjust the blade height so that I could put the channels in for the where the pitcher and the glass goes in behind, and I was going to cut some others, but so this one I got, I can do all the angles and stuff I need to do to make frames. 100 a week propane. Heat my RV and cold. Oh no, not that. I had $17 for 7 gallons, and it lasts about in this weather about 4 days. So yeah, it's probably about $30 a week. So probably 120 a month for propane for heat. And I have another bottle that's hooked up for the refrigerator and the stove. And there, my just lost AC power. You see how long the generator goes out because the batteries are so frozen. The power don't last long. I don't know one thing I need is a battery charger that charges at 14.5 volts and not 13.5. That's one reason, because then you get more charge on the batteries, and you get more time after the generator goes off. I don't know what's sucking. It's that refrigerator that sucks my batteries. I got 10 batteries, and I don't know why it's, other than this damn refrigerator. You need a regular house on the grid. I've been thinking about trying for one of the PayPal says they'll give you a business loan. It's like, I know a house I can buy for 15,000. So yeah, if I could get a business loan for 20, I could get the house and get a bunch of art made. The house needs a lot of work, of course, but I can manage that. It's better, when you buy a house that cheap. Oh, how big is your carbon footprint? My carbon footprint's small, very small. and you know what? If you watch Suspicious Observers on YouTube, you'll find out that scientists just discovered this thing that when the solar pressure is real hard on the Earth, it can make you know how they get the arcs on the sun, the magnetic arcs and stuff. It'll create one of those on Earth that can cut Grand Canyons with electromagnetic thunderbolts that are way bigger than any lightning you ever seen. And it says that puts the whole carbon thing, it's like insignificant compared to what that does to our climate and stuff. The magnetic effects, the North Pole's moving like 40 miles a year right now, and it's moving faster, and the magnetic fields control our climate more than the carbon and stuff. And these carbon idiots, it's like still one volcano eruption puts more carbon in the atmosphere than man has in all of history. And how many volcanoes are going off? You think you're going to make a difference by how much carbon you put in the atmosphere? You ain't doing jack. You're insignificant. How come it hasn't happened in recorded history? Well, they figured that's what created the Grand Canyon. That electrical ripped the hole in the earth. So that's pretty freaking powerful. No, it's insignificant. Cows can fart. Oh, we're gonna murder all the cows and kill off all the cows, and nobody can eat hamburger. That sounds like a vegan freaking campaign. You know, it's something started by some stupid vegan. And you notice if you eat more vegetables, you fart more. No, Shanktopotamus, you're misinformed. You're going by the stand, like the archaeologists don't believe shit because it's what I was taught in college. It's this way, and it could be no other. I lost connection. That was the first time with this phone. And what's my battery doing? My battery's still 100%. That's pretty damn. I like this phone. My other phone, the battery be dead by now. JJS update pollution. Yeah, the people with all the carbon stuff, they didn't put in all the we don't want to include those numbers. It might destroy our agenda. You know? Yeah, yeah. The NASA rockets, some of them burn oxygen and hydrogen, which is pretty clean exhaust. It's just water vapor, exhaust. But the solid fuel rockets are carbon. They're made of carbon propellants like they put in bullets and stuff. I used to build robots that assembled the propellant for airbags, and it's a rocket fuel canister. And the reason they had robots make them is because it's so explosive and dangerous. And you might hear some airbag factories explode occasionally because these things, they don't have people near them. It's all run by robot just in case it explodes. So you really have a bomb in your car, any car with an airbag. India's trying to, yeah. Oh, I couldn't handle just trying to get clean water there. Who knows what's in the rivers there and stuff. And have sewage control like they do here. But I think I'm about done because I gotta go pee. They need it to address population. Yeah, and I think a lot of these diseases that the military and stuff have created, like the Ebola and stuff, the CDC has a patent on Ebola. They created it, and then they create a vaccine so they can sell the vaccine. And then they spread it over in those heavily populated areas. That's why you see all the swine Ebolas over in Asia and stuff, India and China and Southeast Asia. They're trying to kill off all them Chinese and people in India. They spread the disease over there. Yeah. Happy holidays, J.A. Or Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year, India. Yeah, I have another one next. Yeah, people. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'd be fun. Go to hey, Forrest. Are we going to a New Year's Eve party? Do you go? That'd be fun to go to a New Year's Eve party with Forrest. I tried not to drink because drinking doesn't agree with all my ailments. I used to make hydrogen balloons. Yeah, I've got I on AutoCAD I designed a flying saucer that's full of helium and uses jet engines to propel it. So it doesn't weigh anything, and then you put a jet engine on it and go. 1B again. Yeah. Um, yeah, you got to do something about China to have any kind of one world, thing going. You can't have. They were trying to turn us into China. That's what they were trying to do. They've been trying to do. They want to bring us down to the level of a third world country, and we can't let that happen. But so the thrill of the chase is finding them ancient artifacts. That's what the thrill was, finding that first arrowhead. That's the thrill of the chase, what gets you going. And once I found all this stuff, Jack's barking at the coyotes coming by or something. He'll be wanting in a second. But okay. Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go. I got to drain the lizard and let Jack in or get him to come in. So many meth heads having multiple babies. Yeah. My brother, he got the, I don't see how my brother can get a girlfriend and I don't have one, because he's such he's just totally out there, goes into territories I won't go to, as far as how you treat people. But he's got a girlfriend, he's, I'm helping her out, she's got mail or whatever. And she's staying in his house while he's out driving truck. Her meth head kids come to visit her, and one walked off with my brother's computer and took it and sold it to his crack dealer or whatever, or sold it to a pawn shop or whatever. Just take my brother's computer and his cordless drills and they he had a woman in his house who should be watching his place, and her kids don't have jobs, or it's like, okay, when you get a girlfriend, make sure that their children have good jobs and are leading a proper life, and not some crackhead who's out to steal from their friends and their family to buy more crack. Strong and determined people are in tough times. They generally don't kill each other, but they actually tend to look out. Yeah, but so my brother, he's got, and I didn't see it. Oh yeah, they stole a guitar too, So here she is. Her kids come to visit her, and they walk out with his computer and a guitar and drills, and I didn't see him take anything. It's like bullshit. Bullshit. As I told my brother, I said, as long as you let her stay there, you're allowing that stuff to happen. And yeah, she's gone, Yeah, I told him I don't want to hear about it. If you're not going to do anything about the person that allowed them to take it, then you don't have any business complaining about it. Yeah, they're the lowlifes. They all live with their grandmother, and the grandmother's in on it. And it's like, Florida, there's a lot of, it's areas too. You better off here where there's a lot of Mexicans around here, They're not near as bad, they don't go around. You don't see the Mexicans stealing stuff for crack and stuff like that. You know. Yeah. Either Christmas Eve or Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that because I'll probably be here alone. um, yeah, I know Bill Sullivan got invited over for Forrest for Christmas or something, and I've never had an invite for anything. I don't know how that works, but I know how it works is he can't lead anybody to believe that I'm anywhere near it. Uh, uh, yeah, I got to bring some stuff up. I don't know if I'll be day after Christmas or what. What's Christmas is Wednesday. Yeah, he has Thursday, Friday off. So, uh, yeah, if I had a place to stay other than my kid's couch, I'd go see the band some night up there. Not tomorrow night. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Christmas was always a great day to go for a drive. That's what I used to do every Christmas is go for a drive, a couple 100 miles or so, just go driving and just to go somewhere new. I have one of my videos. Look at my videos somewhere new. Oh, I lived in California. I usually go for when I lived in Fremont in the Bay Area, and usually a Christmas drive would drive out to the valley, drive up to Yosemite. I got chased by a bear in Yosemite. Me and my brother, we were watching him raid somebody's campsite. He turned and charged our way, and we went fastest I ever run. You need to go look at it, Christmas lights. Have a hot go. Hey, maybe I go do a Christmas light show. We'll drive around Alamosa. And there's one Christmas light thing I seen on the. I don't see a lot of Christmas lights in Alamosa. That's odd. It's because it's so maybe because it's so Hispanic. But you go to the Walmart here, you see a lot of Hispanics and surprisingly a lot of Amish or Mennonites or maybe they're Mormons. I don't know what they are. And actually, I ran it. I was searching one day, and some of them Mennonites stopped, and I go, "You see the face on the rock?" And they go, "Oh my, oh, we better go out of here." It's like Bill Sullivan. He said, "You see all the skulls in that picture?" I said, "Yeah, that's what Forrest wants us to find. It's no place for the meek." He said, "I wouldn't go anywhere near that." Well, then you ain't got a chance of finding the treasure. And you don't find the treasure, you go straight to it with the instructions from Forrest. If you've been wise and found the blaze and been brave and in the wood, then he gives you title to the gold and you can go pick it up. You can't pick up the treasure until you have the title to the gold. I think I'll end right there. Have a good night. Maybe I'll see you Christmas Day. Yep. Okay, good night. I'm not gonna do a video tomorrow night because it's Christmas Eve and nobody be watching. See ya. It'll be Christmas Day. I can do one. Button. Adios. Merry Christmas.